모든 경기장 도시락.
All right, so here we are, guys, on Darkness Falls. In the top left-hand corner, we have our yellow Protoss player and the final boss from Quantic Gaming. That is SaSe, and his opponent in the bottom right-hand corner, our red Terran player, and one of the very best players in the world at the moment. That is Evil Genius's PuMa. He is doing very, very well so far in this set. Won a great game, a good example of how to come back from behind as well after taking some early damage against the Agnes there.
Yeah, I was a bit worried for him for a moment, but he played patiently, was able to kind of pull it back together again. Definitely going to be a little bit more on top of his game, though, for this match, because SaSe is not going to give him any room at all to make mistakes like that, I think. SaSe is quite a good Protoss versus Terran player. He's got a lot of interesting builds. He's been practicing in Korea for quite some time now. So, I don't know. I think he's the best choice for Quantic to send out right now.
Yeah, not a bad choice at all. And so it looks like we know we are not going to see Naniwa in this match because QxG is down to their last player. So even if SaSe comes back and wins a few games, this is their last hope.
Yep.
Of course, Naniwa did make an appearance in the winners round 1 against Mouse. And it was a 5-minute game on Calm Before the Storm between him and Thorzane. Thorzane opening up with a 2 barracks rush proxy in the middle of the map that ended the game very quickly.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was some good cheese.
Yeah, it was.
That's a good one, yeah.
Some quality cheese.
Yep. Gas going down for PuMa as well, so not going to do anything like a gasless expand.
Nope.
So this could be a 1-1-1. It could just be some sort of barracks expand too. Could just go for Marauders as well. Is walling off though, so he wants to restrict all the information he can from SaSe.
Sure.
That's going to be really frustrating actually for SaSe. Not going to be able to get in and really see anything other than what add-on is possibly on the barracks.
Sure.
But yeah, SaSe is going to have to play this one safe. He's really going to be wondering what his opponent's doing.
And we'll find out. So he gets up there, sees nothing but a barracks going on. Of course, his opponent's not going to reveal anything for a little while.
Yep. First
Marine coming out now. And it looks like SaSe's just going to try and block the command center for a bit.
Okay, so he does kind of have a feeling that it's going to be a gasless fast expand. However, we know that it is not. It is actually a build that involves gas somehow. And yep, there's the factory right away. So it looks like it might be a deadly PuMa 1-1-1. This guy is one of the best.
Yes, he is.
At 1-1-1s in TVP. And when you're in a situation like this, I mean, you just do what you know is going to win you the game or what you think is going to give you the best chance. And, although PuMa is a good, well-rounded player, nobody's going to dispute that this guy is really good at one-base play versus Protoss.
Oh, certainly. I mean, we've seen it in very high-profile examples in his, very well-publicized matches against Liquid Hero and things like that. DreamHack, NASL, stuff along those lines.
Yep.
And yeah, he's able to pull it off expertly, and there is a second gas just finishing up.
Oh,
so
okay, cool.
Heavy tech incoming.
Yeah, it could be. If he decides to go for something like Cloak Banshees, I'll be a little bit surprised because that does, it's good to get in there. And, of course, if you're lucky, you can get in and do tons of damage if they don't have detection. However, if you're doing it as part of a 1-1-1, a one-base all-in, rather, then you're slowing it down by going for Cloaks. So we'll have to see. I mean, he could be going for Banshees and Tanks, which does take a lot of gas as well. So we'll have to wait and see what route he does. But
he is certainly going for those Banshees, though. Flip it over here in just a second.
That way, yeah.
We'll see if he gets a tech lab for the factory to do like a Banshee Marine tank push or something like that.
Tech lab.
Pretty good giveaway.
I think we're going to see Cloak Banshees here. The thing is, too, is... yeah, there it is. A lot of Terrans have been doing... Well, not a lot, but we have seen some Terrans do the Cloak Banshee expand as well in TVP.
And we've seen players that are using off of 2-base a lot of very strong tank Banshee pushes. So.
Yeah.
And we'll see if that's going to be the order of the day now for PuMa. He does have his first Cloaked Banshee on the way. This is a very large map, so when that Banshee makes its way, it should actually time perfectly with Cloak hitting as soon as the Banshee shows up.
Yep. Should be pretty good. And there's a bunker at the front, so yeah, I've got a feeling that PuMa's going to expand off of this. I love this. This is so cool because for so long, I mean, all the Terrans, anytime you got gas early on, after 2 barracks kind of fell out of popularity, it was always just 1-1-1 all the time. So glad that Terrans have kind of realized that they can do teching and expand a lot of times in a TVP nowadays, too. Quite cool.
Or even that Terran players can just straight up use Banshees and tanks later on in the game. They don't have to rely just on their bio forces.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know if SaSe was able to see that. I don't know if it snuck by. I think he might have, though. He does have an observer up, and it looks like he's already got some units positioned for a possible Banshee making its way out. So PuMa looks like the jig is up.
Yeah, he's going to be well prepared. He's got 4 gateways. He's got that robo, so nothing's really going to surprise him at this point.
Sure.
Yeah, and the pylon is found. That helps a little bit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the Banshee flew over it, so that's why I don't know if SaSe was able to pick up on it, but it looks like he was, because like I said, he has units in position. We'll need to have a preemptive cloak here, I would imagine, out of PuMa. He sees everything. The cloak goes down very quickly, deciding to take out sentries right away, gets rid of that Guardian Shield, and sentries, of course, are very, very fragile.
Yeah, killing those 2 sentries really is pretty nice, though. I mean, that's the unit you want to reduce the count of more than anything. I mean, just the fact that it's 100 gas each sentry, too.
Right.
Makes it a big deal. And, Observer gets in again.
Oh, wow. Banshee down to just 2 points of health. He doesn't kill anything else. He got the 2 sentries, and that was all. Sending another Banshee around the top right.
That was worth it. That made that Banshee completely worth it, I think, to take those 2 sentries out and get it out alive. Exactly what PuMa needed to do in that situation, and he did it. And, so SaSe, he's going to need, I mean, if he keeps losing sentries, he's going to need to worry about the strength of a push that's going to come afterwards here, too.
Right.
So the question I've got now for PuMa is he going to go into, like, Marine Tank Banshee play off the 2 bases, something like what Nada's been doing a lot lately?
Well, he does now have a Raven up, and he's producing another couple of barracks at the moment.
Barracks. All right.
Yeah. Now, along with a 3rd base. He does have a 3rd base coming up. SaSe, on the other hand, he's sitting on just 4 gates for the time being, but a good investment in tech. He's going double forge. He's got his Twilight Council down, so he will have a pretty staggering push ready in a bit when 1-1 finishes up.
Yeah, he could decide to go for that 1-1. That 1-1 push is, of course, pretty strong. He's not really, like, making any mortals or anything like that, so yeah, so he is going to expand. A lot of times if they're going to go for that sort of gateway push, you'll see some mortals being produced as well, along with everything else. But both of these guys decided to just play a longer macro game, which I do like. It's kind of cool to see how TVP is evolving. I've always liked TVP. It's been one of my favorite matchups for a long time, but when it was just bio versus whatever, Protoss decided to do in the late game, it was just a matter of EMPs, started to get a little bit dry.
Sure.
Yeah. Cool to see some variation.
PuMa will back away with that Banshee. He's got another one moving out across the map, chasing down that Probe. Go, Probe, go! And PuMa going to make his way back at the moment, though. Of course, he has finished up his 3rd orbital command. We'll drop that down into the pocket here eventually.
Yeah.
So both players are going to be on 3 base now. Both players' economy are pretty good, but SaSe has been macroing like a beast so far. He's got a ton of supply at the moment, with a heavy investment in tech to go along with it. So, and he deflected the harassment really well. SaSe is just playing great.
I got to say, too, ironically, PuMa is going for bio after this.
Yeah.
So, which is fine. I mean, you can do this. He'll need to get his Ghost Academy fairly quickly because SaSe is going for Templar tech at this point. We just saw him put down that Templar archives, so ideally PuMa will scout that quickly, otherwise he could get caught unawares.
Yeah, PuMa had some Templar play blocked a few times in a row there as well, so not the position he wants to be in, but he's finishing up 1-1, but of course SaSe already has 2-2 coming out now.
Well, you can tell this is definitely a build that's sort of in development. It definitely doesn't look smooth at all from PuMa, but it's something that I think we're going to see a lot more often from Terran players in the future here.
He is pushing through the front, so forcing those units away, rallying some units to the front now is SaSe. He's got League Speed finished. He's got Templar. Unfortunately, no Storm being, I don't believe, or being researched at the moment, but Banshee's coming back in around the side now. There's Storm coming up finally, and PuMa is going to pick off a lot of workers here. This is actually working very, very well for him.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. He has killed a ton of probes with this.
Yes, he has.
But the thing is that off 3 Nexus, it's pretty easy to catch up here, too.
Yes.
Looks like he's going to try to go for a drop. He knows he doesn't have the units for frontal attack right now. Oh, if he can snipe that Templar archives, that would be just ideal.
Yes, it would be, but he's not moving his units around at the moment. There we go. There's the stim. Now going after the Templar archives.
Yeah.
Feedback on top of the medevac. Unfortunately,
is he
not
gonna
quite
get
enough
it?
to kill it. Oh, Templar archives getting very low. 100
close.
hit points, and it falls.
Very nice snipe there from EG.PuMa that sent SaSe back quite a bit. Storm did not complete, of course.
Right.
So yeah, great drop. Even if he loses everything, sniping that Templar archives at this point is such a nice score. Wow, even killing a Templar too. That drop doing a ton.
Yes,
but,
it did.
You know, still at the end of the day, PuMa not really quite in the position to move out yet.
Right.
You know, I think he knows that he's going to have a few less units doing this build for a while than his opponent, you know, because of the amount of tech, because of the you know, few amount of times he's done it so far. So yeah, PuMa playing pretty safely, kind of doing everything right, really, with a yet unproven build, I guess we'll say.
Templar Archives is back. PuMa followed this up with the factory attack. Unfortunately, it didn't do too much damage. And he has a couple of Banshees now finally floating away. It looks like he will get those out under the cover of night. SaSe.
Well, it's always night on Darkness
Falls.
Yeah.
That sounds so foreboding. Ugh. PuMa now, he's finishing up 2-2, but of course, SaSe's already on his way to 3-3. Storm's not finished up, though, so it's just going to be... Oh, nice job sniping off the Raven, though.
Yeah.
He does kill the Raven. He's got more units flooding in. That Immortal could get caught out in the open, though.
Yeah, PuMa needs to be really careful about this. He's got just barely enough. Oh, yeah, but the feedback's on the Medivacs.
Yeah.
PuMa's got a lot of DPS here, but needs to be very careful about the next few minutes where he engages.
Storm right here, though, turns this into a totally different fight.
Storm would have helped a lot. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, that cannot be overstated right now, how much that has actually helped PuMa. He is crushing through the front line of Zealots now. We'll see if he moves back, but no, he's actually just going to try and bust on through. Yeah.
Wow, just rotating the groups of units around each other. He lost most of the forces, but he really made it worth his while, though.
Certainly.
But you know, I said he needs to be careful about engaging this. He doesn't quite have the overwhelming force that he needs in this situation.
Right.
This is a dangerous thing for PuMa to be doing right now.
A couple of Stalkers have fallen. He's going to continue pushing up at the front as well. 3 have gone down, and he does a little bit of damage to the Immortal before he runs away. Now 4 Medivacs with this as units keep streaming in.
Yep.
And let's take a look. 119 supply to now 123 to 113. But 3-3 is just about to finish up for SaSe.
Yeah, I was going to say it. 3-3 is going to make a big difference in this as well. 2-2 for PuMa, obviously, like you mentioned, so he's not that far behind.
Right.
Getting those air weapons as well, kind of anticipating the switch over to Colossi, and it's also going to make his Banshee stronger too, so that helps in kind of 2 purposes.
Yeah,
and with the Ghost coming in, he's going to be in a much more comfortable position later on to engage the army of SaSe.
Oh, certainly. Double drops coming in, though. 1 for PuMa, 1 for SaSe. SaSe waiting to pull his opponent's units out of position right now, but he's going to have to react to this one pretty quick, actually. Zealot coming up. There's feedback on the Medivac as well. PuMa going to back himself into a corner, get a good engagement, take out the Zealots at the moment. 3-3 is, of course, finished. So the units for SaSe are going to be very powerful, but, you know, PuMa's done some pretty good damage with this drop.
Yep, wow, and SaSe sees PuMa's army coming across the middle of the map, and
yes,
it looks like almost had an engagement there.
No, but he backs away for now. PuMa didn't have everything out. He's reinforcing back at home as well with those Ghosts, but he is getting slowly pushed back now. Oh, there's most of that's where the rest of the bio forces where I was like, that still shouldn't equal exactly what we saw, but no, he's coming in with a giant double drop. We have SaSe's drop hitting at the same time as he's moving through the front. So there's the drop. Here's the engagement from the forces. PuMa getting pushed back just a little bit. He stands in there. He does throw down 1 EMP, but it hits a couple of sentries. There's the second one, though. And all of the Templar are still sitting on full energy, but this drop is continuing to do damage for PuMa. There's so much action all the way across the map.
Yeah, I know. This is one of those games that really could go either way. The supply, very similar for these guys. Both of them doing damage to each other, trading blows.
Yeah.
And, wow, SaSe really fighting for his team's life here, but the drop play from PuMa is just so good. He's done so much damage with this. SaSe is still doing a little bit with his, but really not a lot in comparison. Here we go, though.
Yeah, he's going to push his way right through the front. There's 2 bunkers up. One is about ready to go down. No SCVs pulled off the line quite yet. Storm's hitting a few units, but yeah, I mean, PuMa's sitting back there with pretty full energy at the moment. Forming in some Archons now is SaSe. We've got a couple of Immortals in the mix as well, but this really isn't all that much. PuMa has a pretty good defensive position. The Archon dies, and as soon as that went down, PuMa just has enough to start pushing this back.
Yeah, SaSe may have overextended himself a little bit there, and there's still more action back in SaSe's main as well. That drop still doing damage after all this time.
Right.
SaSe just kind of going for it and just not quite able to get in there.
No, unfortunately.
And yeah, at the end of the day, the drop play for EG.PuMa looks like in this case it's just going to be a little bit too much for SaSe to handle.
All right, well that drop is continuing to do damage. Will get cleaned up now though. 135 supply to 74, and that disparity is going to grow as PuMa pushes through now. Then these Archons taking a lot of damage without being able to provide anything in return, forcing those units through a tiny little choke point right there. Actually is pretty good for those bio units. It helps.
Could have used the storm right there.
But oh yeah, that would have just devastated PuMa's army, but it's not enough. The High Templar only now have storm.
Yep. And he's kind of waiting for PuMa to get a little bit more grouped up. No, deciding to storm, not really hitting a whole lot with that.
Right. Look at that
micro. Yeah, man, the spreading on the units is just unbelievable for this guy right now. Oh, no. He's got to be careful here. PuMa trying to do a lot with not very much, but it looks like it might just barely be enough.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
That should be it right there.
He actually dropped off to the right as well with a couple of Vikings. Everything getting cleaned up. GG! Congratulations to Evil Geniuses as they have advanced into Losers Round 2 here at Team Arena Challenge. Quantic is knocked out of the tournament.